Our call to order for the Sarasota Housing Authority regular board meeting, May 27th at 4:30. I guess we'll do the invocation. Valerie?
Let us pray. Father, we thank you for this day, this opportunity, Lord God, to be able to come together, Lord God, to make sound decisions. And Lord, help us, oh God, to just share your compassion and your grace, oh God, as we deal with the community that you've given us. And Lord, we just thank you now. Put you ahead of this meeting. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call. Commissioner Taylor.
Here.
Commissioner Cologne. Nope. Commissioner Meredith. Commissioner Mason.
Here.
Commissioner Morgan. Me. Here. Commissioner Roman.
Here.
Commissioner DeMaria. Here. Great. Oh, and Commissioner Ahern Koch.
Also here.
All right. All right. Accepting of the minutes for the regular board meeting on April 8th.
I have to take these minutes back. Second.
Hold on. Commissioner Mason, you were here by Zoom. I think you have to be
Here,
physically here.
present.
Yeah.
So you made the motion?
No.
I did, but he said I attended via Zoom, so.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter? Okay, I just wanted to make sure.
It doesn't matter. You can
Only
make
if
a
you're
motion.
absent.
Okay.
So Commissioner Mason, and then who seconded? I seconded.
All right. I'll make the motion, accepting of the minutes.
Aye.
Right. Accepting of the agenda for the regular board meeting, 2027, or I'm sorry, May 27th, 2026.
Move to approve.
Who moved? I'm sorry, I'm doing two things.
It's me. DeMaria.
And second?
Mason.
No, those are blank.
The motion is second. All those in favor?
Aye.
All right. Let's
Speaking
get.
as the vice chair, just before you go on, Andrea, we do not have video anymore.
Okay, one second. Sorry, thank you. Thank you for telling me.
Really?
There we go.
Oh.
There we go.
Oh. Makes
Your
sense.
flashlight's on.
We good, Rick? Okay. Special presentations. Let's start with the Amaryllis Park Place mural finalists. Sierra.
Okay, Sierra is on her way. She texted me, but she's not here yet. So let's table that for a few minutes.
I'm going to start with the City Commission liaison update.
We, as a city commission, are on a meeting break the whole month of June.
Good.
So
Nice.
our next meeting is July 6th.
Okay.
It doesn't mean that we're not at City Hall, and it doesn't mean that we're not doing other things. It just
Sure.
means we don't have city commission meetings for the month of June. That's it.
How'd you
And,
swing that?
We have been doing it for a while.
and the new city manager starts Monday?
Starts in 2 days. Wait, what's today? It's 27th? 29th.
On a
Officially
Friday.
at 12:01.
She
So,
gets the morning
but I
off.
think she's going to be coming into City Hall, and she's already, met with some of us and stuff like that. So she should be hitting the ground, and it's nice that she has a break of no city commission meetings for her first
Yeah.
month there.
Perfect.
Because her dance card is quite full right now of other groups who want to meet with her. So
Sure.
very much looking forward to welcoming her.
Yeah. Awesome.
And the interim city manager, Jennifer Jorgensen, will be the interim deputy city manager. She's going to do a search, and we'll see what happens, who she picks as a deputy city manager. But Jennifer Jorgensen will continue as the deputy city manager.
All right.
Okay, great. So, now that we got the funding from the county for McCown, we're pretty anxious to continue having meetings with city staff. Broxton, the woman who heads up finance,
Kelly Strickland?
yes, she was on some of the meetings. I mean, Dave Bullock was organizing these. Some of the bond people were on the calls. So I reached out to Jennifer to try to get that going again, because we kind of want to get all that buttoned up, brought back to the city commission for a formal vote on it, because we're going to try to close the whole deal first quarter of next year.
Do you have an idea, target date, target month?
No.
I would recommend trying to get on the schedule sooner
I just
rather
want
than
to keep
later.
momentum going, but
Yep.
first it needs to be with some of these key staff people. So I didn't know if Jennifer should be the one to help me.
Jennifer.
Okay.
Jennifer, I think our new city manager is going to be busy getting to know,
Yeah.
and the things that are already going should continue to go. I would work with Jennifer.
Okay.
She has a government relations background too, right?
She is our governmental interrelations
Ah.
affairs director. That's her official title.
You wrote
And
that.
acting interim city manager and acting city manager, interim city manager as well right now. So she's doing
Gotta
three
give her a simpler title.
roles. Yes.
For the federal government or something?
No,
Or really
this was the
abbreviation.
city government. But she is acting in 3 roles at this moment, and then soon to be 2. But my recommendation would be to work with her, and always copy the new city manager on anything, any emails or communications, but you'll expect
Yeah.
her to be the one to follow up.
Okay. She was here. Thank you.
Anything else?
That's it.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
See who's here.
Okay. When our county commissioner's not here. So, welcome, Sierra.
Hi.
Come on
You're
up.
Come on up. And I
you
grabbed,
got some too.
I grabbed a set of these from
Cool.
Michelle.
From
So, Michelle Steers.
at the
Yeah.
did Bianca bring
Yeah,
them?
Bianca. brought
Cool. Well, hello. Hi.
Hello.
Forgive my
I
appearance.
can-
I just
I can
did a
pass
3-hour
those
public
down.
art tour. So should I address you all or everybody?
Yeah, address the board.
Okay. Hi, I'm Sierra Coleman. I feel like I need to say hi to everybody.
I know.
I'm the public art administrator for the city of Sarasota. We've been working with the Sarasota Housing Authority, and specifically Dave and William, on a mural for Amaryllis Park Place. We put out a call for artists for a $25,000 artist budget for a mural on the Orange Avenue facing wall with the theme Where Home Takes Root. We had and it was specifically targeted at, I could pass these around the crowd, is that okay? Should I
Sure.
not?
Yeah.
Okay. It was specifically targeted at local and regional artists within 100 miles. And I also have flyers here, actually, let's give these out too, if you'd like to take one. Within 100 miles of the city of Sarasota, and or had former residents who have strong ties to the community. I'll tell you all about it. So I should have waited to pass them out, sorry. So we had a jury panel put together, including Housing Authority board members, or Dave, as well as we had Mary Butler from the and William as well. Sorry, Mary Butler from the Amaryllis Park Neighborhood Association, Walter Gilbert from the Sarasota African American Cultural Coalition, Helen Neal, who is a resident of the development as well as a leader of SRQ Strong, Natalia. I can't remember who's a resident of the development as well. Bianca Clyburn, who is a resident of Newtown, as well as a member of our public art committee. And so we assembled the stakeholder group to. So the stacks are all, the laminated ones are kind of, maybe I'll take those ones back and that way I can hold them up. Sorry. Yeah, I confused everybody. It's my fault. So anyway, all said and done, we had 5 finalists who met with the artists to talk about, to give them some direct feedback on the mural concepts as they worked on their designs. These were 5. The call was actually a request for qualifications, and so we were looking at the artist's full portfolio of work, making sure that they're able to execute a mural of this scale and do it well. And so once those 5 artists were selected and approved by the Public Art Committee, the stakeholder group met with each artist to give them specific feedback. So for example, you'll notice that a lot of the designs have purple and gold. The artists were given that direction to signify the significance of the Booker schools in the community, as well as using the amaryllis flower as a central motif. And really the direction was that it should be an uplifting, aesthetically pleasing, just beautiful mural to make, to people feel good kind of a mural. And so we had 5 really talented artists put together these concepts, and right now through June 7th, we are collecting feedback through the city's Engagement HQ platform, and we're really looking to get feedback from Newtown and Amaryllis Park residents as well as the community at whole. And then we'll take all of that feedback to the Public Art Committee on June 24th for their final decision. So with that, we also wanted to bring it to the board if the board felt like there was a strong contender. Really, especially looking at the community feedback, I'll say that all of these pieces have been well received. It's kind of ebbs and flows as far as what's the top, but seeing the community, they've all got, each one of these has kind of a champion as far as people feeling strongly about it. And so for the final decision at the Public Art Committee, we wanted to make sure that what is selected, would be suitable for the board as well. So, and really you could do that through William, who will be at the meeting, right? Or you could submit a formal, if the board really feels strongly about one of them, you could also submit that and let the Public Art Committee know about that as well. So we really take the feedback of the public very, very seriously. And just for those who don't know in the room, with the public art, Sarasota's public art program is entirely funded through developer contributions. So when a developer of a commercial, mixed use, or multifamily development over $1 million constructs or makes significant renovations to a development, then 0.5% of the total value of that construction needs to be put toward public art. So they can either install public art or they can contribute to the public art fund. Now, we also exempt any developments any portion of a development that is attainable housing. So, because we don't want to create any additional burden for those attainable housing developments, but that doesn't mean we don't want them to have public art. So in the public art plan, it specifically calls out, we set aside a budget specifically for public art for affordable housing communities. So this is our first project, but we also have a budget set for next year that we started talking about. And so it's kind of an introduction to, if you have any other ideas, we're always happy to continue that conversation.
And I would say, how many initial submissions were there? 120 or
70 on this
70.
one. Yeah. It was very targeted, and I think that's part of it. When you do a broader call, you get more submissions, but the fact that we kept it, within a 100-mile radius.
That didn't stop people.
Well, you're right. As you remember, we had people just
Everywhere. It was
follow
even
the
though we
rules.
had these qualifications, people from everywhere were still.
I think it was
sending
53 eligible applicants out of the
There you go.
70. Yeah.
And when is the Public Art Committee meeting?
June 24th.
We have a board meeting that day.
I feel like we talked about this. I think it's after, right? It's 1:30? Before, maybe?
Oh, yours is at 1:30?
Yeah.
That's before.
Okay. Yeah. Any?
I think I'd like to have the board talk about it now, see if you guys have any
Which ones do you like?
Ones you don't like, ones you do like. Get your feedback on it.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, ma'am.
I think they all are very, very good. The one by Carlos
Jefferson.
spoke to me the loudest because it's, out of all of them, it best exemplifies to me where home takes root. I mean, it jumped off the page
Sure.
at me, but I think they all did a fabulous
Yeah.
job. But my favorite is that one.
Yeah, I know.
I was going to say one thing too. I've been really, if there's, I just wanted to mention, and to not change the subject too much, but I really want to make sure that we also get as much feedback and awareness from the residents as well. So if you have any ideas, I've been making these. Bianca from our committee, I think she put some up in Amaryllis Park Place. She said, so I don't know where exactly, but if you have any other locations, I'd be happy to do that too, because that's a feedback I've heard, is that I want to make sure that the residents know as well. But sorry, Ms. Mason.
But I think that a lot of people do Facebook. I don't, but that's my preference. But I think I'd like to encourage the residents to go online and state your preference. It's really important, and Amaryllis Park Place is in a prominent location, so whatever goes there is going to be beautiful. But in my experience, democracy works best when the participants participate.
Yeah, I agree. So if you have any ideas or ways that I can do even further outreach, I'm happy to do that.
I know. Like
a bunch of papers, pass it out.
Well,
Pass it out.
but
Passed out some flyers. I didn't pass it out to the residents.
So-
If I brought you a
It's-
stack.
Hold on. It's not a public meeting.
Oh,
I mean,
sorry.
it is a public meeting, but it's not a.
I think I messed it up. I'm sorry.
No. Otherwise, so if you want to share afterwards, or if you want to fill out the. No, I mean I know I've looked at these like a million times. And kind of talked with people, and like I think one is, or the first one, the Palmier Wanza. That was like one of my favorites because I think it is a unique one. I mean, they're all great. Like like the Zulu painter. I was kind of, I don't like the idea of a giant arch. And like, I mean, I did like the, I do like something about Britt Johnson's. So those were, like I said, those were kind of my, I'm going to say my favorite was the first one.
It's a problem when you have all of them are such great. I mean, they're all really talented artists.
They're all really talented, and like their interviews were great, and getting to, like part of it's like what their connection was to Sarasota, and like on, like I know in the case, they really went down to the actual building and looked at it, right? And so there was something I'm like, all right, here's somebody who has taken the time to actually drive over there, go through the neighborhood, and even though that none of them were from there, but it's like go through the neighborhood, and they're like, we went and checked out the restaurants, and we went and checked out, and like that was one of those like kind of above and beyond for me, like somebody who's taken that time, even though they're just like I'm in the top 5, and trying to gather their ideas and what it was like around there. So
I've got a couple, I guess, Sarah, to your knowledge, like how large of an investment is this in this particular area of town, right? Like, I'm thinking about, you discussed how development typically pays for public art.
Yeah.
So that means public art is naturally clustered in the areas where there's
This would be the
most
first
development, right?
for the area.
Yeah.
So this is I think, just a major investment in terms of what visible public art looks like in this neighborhood, too. So to Carolyn's point, Commissioner Mason's point, you know, making sure that this is truly the community's art piece to a certain degree, right? Like, this is a highly traveled, major arterial route where a lot of people are going to be interacting with it. It sets the tone for how someone feels traveling north-south in our city on Orange. So I also like the idea of it being like a very positive piece.
Right.
I think, because it will be a high impact and it'll set the mood in a certain way. And so, speaking to that, I do have my personal preference, but once again, I really think this has to be the community's art piece, is lighter colors, right? Just because it just alludes to maybe being a little more, you know, there's a natural feeling to, whether that be safety, positivity, blues and greens, right? So I have an affinity to maybe Zulu painters or Nicole Salgars because of the blues and the greens.
And they bring the sky, so it creates that.
Exactly.
That,
so there is
illusion.
some lightness, but I really think this has to be the community's art piece.
Yeah.
More so than anything that, you know, one of us.
No, it was like, even like the committee, like a ton of the feedback was real interesting, like, because it's in this, you know, just me, I learned a bunch about murals, you know, so it's the, you know, it's not looking at a piece of art from here, it's really looking at it from like 20 yards away,
Right.
and you're driving, you know, 30 miles an hour, and you're, you know, so it has to be this kind of a quick eye catch.
Right.
You know, so it was kind of interesting, like in the feedback, and you know, one thing we got for 100% was like no people.
Yeah.
You know, it was like a very, they're like, look, we want this to be so about the Amaryllis. So.
Well, Commissioner Morgan,
Yes, sir.
I'm agreeing with Commissioner Mason. I like the Carlos mural proposal. I think the roots growing out of the house make it look like people putting down roots there and growing into flowers. It's nice, a little more purple than I would like. Maybe knock out some of the red because it detracts from the flowers. But other than that, that's the nicest one. But they're all pretty good. I mean, there's nothing here that I can say is horrible.
Hey, that's
Except for the Trump Arch. I'm out of that one. So,
Like I missed
I
something.
told you my preference.
No, and like purple, that was one of the big things, even the committee, that like they
purple
were
and
like,
gold.
you know,
School colors,
Yeah.
Lookers.
It was very meaningful. There's a lot of really, I feel like the committee was,
Don't paint it gold.
Yeah.
Just all gold.
there was like, yeah, they were very in like, these are colors that have been around and colors of the school board.
well, and it's interesting too, because all your comments are sort of echoing, I've peeked into the survey a little bit, and that's the thing, every one of these has a champion in the community. It's kind of neat. Like, I feel like we've done this a couple of times now, and I haven't quite seen, like, every one of them is well loved by somebody. So it's kind of hard to,
Yeah, I mean,
you know.
So in terms of process, you'll
Yeah.
take this to a public art committee. You'll have data
Yeah.
supporting
Right.
a particular option, or maybe not.
We'd have the
supporting.
data from the survey, which that's what I wanted to emphasize too, is like, you know, to everyone's point with it being a community mural is how can we get the most amount of direct community feedback as possible between now and the time the survey closes. You know, some artists have posted on their Facebook page, which is like, it's great that they spread the reach, but that skews the results a little bit, right? And so really trying to hone in on the residents of the neighborhood and the community and Sarasota as a whole as well. But we've received pretty strong feedback so far from the community at large, but really wanting to get to your point, the residents and, get the word out. So I can print flyers. If there's a mailbox, I can stick them in. I'll do it, but let me know.
Tell me the timeline.
So the survey will close at the end of the day on June 7th. It's a Sunday, and then I need a few days to compile all that to put into the backup for the June 24th Public Art Committee meeting. I can stretch that a little bit, so if I could, I don't know how, because your meetings are monthly, right? So it wouldn't be till June 24th. Is that how I understand it? But I could send it to y'all, the data, to review individually, and I don't know how this board works compared to.
Have any of these flyers been set out at Amaryllis for the residents
Yes,
there?
yeah.
Okay.
I'm glad to
They're
hear it.
everywhere.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
I've been working. I've been trying. And Bianca on our public art committee was a huge help too. She was like, ask for more of these, and so I gave her a bunch more of these, and so, I've been trying to get anywhere that we can.
So, do we want to look at the data first, and then we can?
No,
Or-
this board
or
will
we-
not
or-
meet before the public art.
Right.
Okay.
That's why I wanted to get your input today. I mean, I don't know.
There's a development on June 9th.
Would you be able to say,
Well, can we do that? Can we look at it at the development meeting on June 9th? And
Maybe that's what, because I remember we had talked about that.
yeah, but usually we only have 2 or 3 board members.
Right.
show
I
up.
think this is for board feedback. I think this is the best.
okay.
I mean, would it be too much to have each board member indicate
1 through 5.
what their favorite was, or
I thought we just did that.
we did?
I don't think we
I haven't
all-
heard
I
Nicole's.
didn't
No, but
see
I mean-
anything.
And Ernestine did.
But I mean, no, but it's all right. So, Rick, I got a question. Is there any way we can, I don't know, all of us rate this 1 through 5, and then we can think on it and send it in, or is that polling?
And it's not a vote,
Yeah.
Rick, that this board is taking.
Or just an opinion?
It's giving their preferences to the public art committee.
There's no
So
decision.
really, you
Okay.
could
I know,
could
that's
just,
what I'm just-
you could all, everyone could just email me
Okay.
their top 5 ranked in order. Would that
Or if
work?
they get to number 6,
Then
they,
I'm confused. What, if I click on that barcode,
Yeah.
what significance does my,
so we're going to be probably weighing the board's decision.
Well, let me try to help with that.
Sure.
So, if there's gonna be actual selection,
Mhm.
by the board at some point, any ranking and or eliminating
Yeah.
has to be done in the sunshine, okay? Now, if each board member wanted to give their comments about what they liked and what they didn't like, similar to what Commissioner Cologne did, and send that in so you don't rank or eliminate anybody at that point, then that could be collected by Will. And then you could have an overall report.
Yeah.
As long as whenever we make the final decision, it's done in the sunshine.
And that would be done at the public art committee meeting. And so essentially what we could do is take your feedback and put it into the backup for the meeting along with the survey results and, also report on that at the same time. So,
but my question is, I did this
uh-huh.
and I submitted my
So-
comments. How different is that than what?
That's just your individual.
So-
So let's say
Hold on,
500
hold on.
people complete that.
Hold on.
You'll be one of 500.
Because, hold on, I'm going to answer the question. So we talked about this at the committee meeting. And so the board's decision, if the board has an actual preference, is going to carry a lot of weight. And so that's what I'm trying to say is you as your individual is one thing, but if we all came as a board and we decided, had them on our real preferences, and say the art committee looked and they were like, we like number 2 the best, but the board really likes number 3 the best, it's probably gonna wind up being, like, it's that's what we're trying to say, it's like, it's that, while it is public art, it's still one of our buildings, so that's what I'm trying to say.
And there's a bit
That's
of
right.
confusion for me, because I believe on that little form that you fill out,
Yeah.
it asks, who are you? I think.
Like if you're a resident of the
or
building.
If I'm a resident,
Yeah.
if.
I think it's
I'm-
fine to submit responses in both ways, especially if you're, a resident. But like you said, it's two different submissions. And ultimately, like, to your point, it is your building, and so that does carry weight. But I think that if it came out where, say, the community overwhelmingly is like in favor of one design, I imagine that the board would recognize that. And if it doesn't sound like anything here is off the table from what I'm hearing, and so to me, I was more looking to hear, oh, I hate that one, can't be that one, and then
Yeah.
being able to talk about that. But if it's more of a preference thing, and say the board is like, we'd be fine with either of these three, and the community strongly comes forward with one of them, then it gives just support to that. And so it all gets kind of weighed together.
Okay.
Now, again, if it's like the community's number one is your number 5, it can always go back to the drawing board. It doesn't, June 24th is the planned decision making, but we have another meeting actually in early August. It's not too far away if we needed to take more time or put it back out there, workshop it more, figure that out. So it's not necessarily going to have to be set in stone if there isn't congruency. My hope is that there will be an alignment between the community, the Public Art Committee, and this board. That's the ideal. Maybe. It has happened before. But
Well, and I can tell you,
I'm an optimist. It's a problem.
now, none of the artists are gonna wanna start in.
Well, exactly. That's the thing,
Right.
too. And it takes some time. We'll still have to, work out the contract and exactly. But that would get them painting in early fall either way.
Yeah, and that was like one of the other things we talked about, like hurricane season.
Right, exactly.
And then like it's 1,000,000 degrees out, like,
So could the board even say eliminate 2 or tell Sierra this is one we wouldn't want?
I think we kind of all agree on the no arch one.
Okay.
yeah.
I mean, I will say that one is pulling the strongest right now. So I don't want to skew anything, but
Yeah, I mean,
Really,
just,
that's like,
yeah, right now. It goes up and
why
down,
would you put another building on?
but...
I know.
Now, what I also want to encourage you all to do, which I know it kind of eliminates the chance to vote today, but if you haven't already, and I see you've got the packet, so that does have some of the past work, but each of these artists also put together a full proposal that includes a narrative about why this is important to them. A few of them that you can't see in the photo will talk about their connection to the city or to the fact that it's a affordable senior housing community and what that means to them. And so if you haven't had a chance to review the full proposals, I would recommend maybe doing that before outright eliminating one, especially while we're still in public
So-
outreach.
all right, so I think we need to make a decision, or we can talk for,
This is just hypothetical. But let's say you're saying this is polling well.
Currently.
And one of the things we seem to not like is this architectural arch. Which,
Any of them
so,
could be.
could that feedback be provided
Absolutely.
to the artist? And
Yeah.
they could be like, okay, yeah, I can just remove this because
Maybe
Yeah.
if it was just
other
the
than
sky
that, it
background.
might be
With any of them,
kinda
yeah.
nice.
Yeah, with any of them, that could be a factor, yeah. And that's part of why, too, the survey collects some qualitative information as well. And I can, it's a lot to farm through, but with the help of some AI, I can amalgamate the narrative comments as well and kind of hear what people's feedback was. Because I've heard that a little bit. Oh, I like that one, but I wish it had this. This artist, if you look at his proposal, actually had a few different versions
that's
of it
true.
that he provided. So having that full context is helpful.
I think online you can click on
Yep.
the artist and you can
Yep.
read a lot
Yes,
about,
you
which I found.
And
really
see their
helpful.
other murals.
Yes.
Exactly. Yeah.
So-
So I'll say too, this one, not to keep harping on this one, this is the artist that has a local mural and has probably the most local connection. These two, I think, are the most. But
So, so let's think about this real quick, so we can take forever. Do we want to, like you said, list them all off our 1 through 5? Do we want to do it now? Do you want to think on it? Maybe have it for the development meeting? Sure.
Yeah, so just some input. You were talking about viewing this in a car speeding by, but also think about the people on the street who are
Yep.
walking there.
Well, sure.
So something that's super busy that requires distance to take in
Mm-hmm.
is not going to be something that somebody who's walking by and the murals just
Oh, yeah.
here is going to be able to appreciate. So that leads to something that's simple as opposed to something that's complicated. The sky in that one, the Nicole Saligar one, I love that because it's not imposing it on us.
Sure.
It's trying to blend in but still speak to us. The sky, the 3D, and the Saligar one has that multi-dimensional piece to it because there is that second layer or third layer in there. And so I think that's also an important thing to consider. And lastly, I don't know, Sierra, how much this plays a role, but colors what fade the most. Typically, reds fade very quickly in our harsh sunlight. So something that's very dominant with red, you may want to avoid because that will fade. And red fade, like hard red will
Yeah.
fade.
Oh, yeah.
Like
now
that.
this is a nice west-facing wall, which is good, and it's a little bit more shaded. And we do require. It is a good point with the red, but and we do require UV coating, so it will mitigate against some of that. But
Over time.
yeah.
And I think for folks who are concerned about too much color, you don't want to be on MLK on June 20th from 1 to 2, because that's Juneteenth, and you will see the colors are part of who we are in that community. So let's not be afraid of color.
I mean, initially, like, I'm just looking at them, I said Nicole Salgar, but I mean, knowing the community and the actual like energy and vibrancy of the community, I'm with Carlos Jefferson.
And again, too, I think it's helpful when you see like each of these, like their portfolios and how they match the concept. It really helps put, because I feel like his concept is a little bit further from, like seeing the execution of how, like in his past work, you can kind of get a better sense of what this will look like too, which I think is helpful in a good way.
I actually like this, but I don't necessarily like all the background color. I mean, this is kind of cool too.
What if you made it a sky?
And then the house structure around the root ball, I really like that.
Yeah.
And it's taking root, which was part of the theme.
And the
But
I
the
like
background, I feel like, takes away from the beauty of
Yeah.
the bouquet and stuff. I don't know.
I think any of these
But
artists
on
would be
the
open to.
building- On the building, I think it will shine. I think it will. I was
I'm
trying
kind of like
to
you, that
find
kind of
my
bleeds in.
comments, but let me see if I can remember it. I think I was especially drawn to the hands because the hands, to me, brings it all together. The home, the flowers symbolize the name of the development, Amaryllis, and then the roots going deep into the ground. When I think about the history of that site, because I am a native and I did live there, it brings a different perspective to it. And that was why I selected that. But in a democratic society, everybody's opinion is valuable.
Well-
So I encourage y'all to get out
there.
Can I throw something out there that I don't know? I have funding if you want to do two. Just put it that way.
Wow.
Find another building for the second
Well,
one.
I mean, there's another wall, right, on the
It's like a buy one, get one situation.
So I'll put it out there too that I should have funding. I guess it depends on how it gets approved at the budget, but we've upped next year's attainable housing public art budget to $100,000. That being said, I have extra mural. I could appropriate some mural budget from this year.
We've talked about murals here.
Right, which let's not talk about that yet. 'Cause I
So-
don't want to take up all your day.
So let's figure out what we want to make a decision for today, or like I said, we can talk about it on the 9th, and the survey will be closed.
I think we take care of it today.
I
All right.
think so too. I don't like kicking the can around.
Okay.
So I'll say I
You
think
wanna-
I'm looking at this from what I'm used to, which is typically spending time downtown and or on the south side of town, and that's why I have a preference towards one. But I cannot ignore. I have a tough time ignoring, Commissioner Mason's, kind of testimony. I have a tough time ignoring whatever comes out of the survey. So I'm open to whatever the board's preference is. I will say that, if it was just up to me, I would say Nicole Salgar would be my number one. But I also feel very, very comfortable with Jefferson's mural being one that reflects the community and one that is embraced by the community. And I think that those two items specifically are probably more important than my personal preference on what I think would be a good mural in this location.
So we have a motion to eliminate or motion?
I don't think we're eliminating. We were just.
I'd prefer not to eliminate so much as say we strongly would not prefer, just because it's still out for public outreach. I don't want people to be
Are we
voting.
strongly opposed
Yeah.
to anything?
You can't
How about
eliminate,
favor?
No, I'm trying to,
because the community is gonna vote on
so,
it.
look, somebody has to make a motion for something.
Are these?
All right, so if I were to
Or I'm gonna
structure a
be moving
motion,
it.
a hypothetical motion would be, I would make a motion to voice our preference for Mr. Jefferson's mural with a secondary preference to Nicole Salgar's mural. That would be an example motion. Is that one?
That's a good one.
Yeah.
The board has a preference for Carlos Jefferson and Nicole Salgar. Is what I'm
The
hearing.
one you like, John.
And if the arch was removed, this could be in the top three as well.
Oh, you can't add that to the motion. Sorry.
We are not adding that.
Have that captured in the minutes.
All right. So I have a motion.
I would second that motion.
Okay.
So we're motioning to
That's this year's budget. No, I
promote
have the budget.
Jefferson as number one and Salgar as number
Not
two.
a number one or two.
Recommend.
We
Recommend.
recommend.
We're not promoting, we're not recommending, we're just saying that.
The board has a
We're
preference.
just
We-
saying those are our
So,
preferences.
hold on.
That's one we like the best.
We're not saying that's number one and that's number two. We're
Yeah.
saying that there's a preference for those two pieces of art.
That's fine.
Right.
Which is fine because you're doing it in a public meeting.
Right.
So,
Okay.
proceed.
So I have a motion.
Counselor.
Commissioner Roman seconded.
Yes, I second it.
All right, do we want to have discussion?
Didn't we just do that?
I got to ask.
Now that I've exercised my preference, I just want to say, this mural is not really being done specifically for the residents who are there. It's being done for the people passing through, to let them know that this is a vibrant community that's up and coming, and they should see this mural as part of that.
But I beg to differ. I think it's for everybody, especially the
That's what I
residents,
said.
because they gotta look at it 24/7.
Yeah, like these three people
So I
especially,
think
right? We should
everybody-
make sure that these three people.
I
Is that a
think
stairwell?
Everybody's important there.
Yeah, with their windows facing right on the
Stating that it's not being done specifically for the resident.
No,
Because
that's
everyone
discussion.
is part of the community's upliftment.
All right, so,
And as stimulating as this is.
all right, I want to call a
We gotta
question.
move on.
We got to move on. So I call the question. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I oppose. All right.
Oh. The other comment too is that you could come to public comment as well. I don't know, are you all
Everybody
allowed
was on
to,
except for me.
are you all allowed to
Really?
Yeah.
multiply speak at different meetings, public comment? Because you could come to the Public Art Committee as well
Yeah.
to state a preference if it disagrees with that. So,
Yeah.
by all means.
But the board should, do that in writing on that.
Right. So what we'll need is basically a board letter that says that whatever he just said about preferences and how that was worded. So.
You got it?
We'll put that together.
Great. And then I'll be happy as soon as this closes, I will go ahead and share the full results, and that way you at least have them when you have that meeting, and if you want to discuss it, then I don't know how that works with the sunshine, but at least you'll have that data to look at. So thank you. And if you have any other suggestions for the residents, let me know. Thank you very much.
you.
Sorry to take up so much
No,
time.
it's okay.
Thank you.
I knew an art discussion was going to not be quick.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad to introduce myself too, in case there's
Yes.
any other ideas for the residents or the community.
Careful what
Thank
you wish
you.
for.
Thank you,
for
Sarah.
having me. No, have a great
So,
day. I love to hear
yeah.
what the
So
community
I'm going to
has
move something so they don't have to be here all day. I'm going to have Desmond Johnson speak, if everybody's okay with that.
Send us some minutes here.
So I just want to, Desmond, you can come on up and take a seat. I'll just explain to the board what's going on here. So under our SHFC board agenda, we did an RFP for
Oh, yeah.
home builders to build homes on our vacant lots in Newtown. And
Desmond, we don't have a PowerPoint on this.
Oh, it's okay. I'm glad I printed it out.
so anyway, I didn't want to have Desmond wait around for
Sure.
a very long time. So I thought it'd be good. We went out after the committee met and we selected him. We had the opportunity to go out. Jack Meredith was also on the committee. We went out and looked at a couple of the homes you were building in Newtown. And so that was when I was like, I want you to come by and introduce yourself to the board so they get to know you. So anyway, tell the board about yourself and
By myself.
the work you do.
So I put in a little packet. I guess I ain't have PowerPoint. So basically, I'm a local builder, born and raised here. I've been building for like 25 years. I started off in renovations. And then for the last probably 9 years or so, we've been doing nothing but new builds. So more so for affordable. Our kind of target market is affordable housing because we understand and identify that is a real big need in the area. So as we've been going around, and then as we was also realizing about affordable housing, that even though some other builders make affordable housing, they make it look like affordable housing. So we kind of want to give people a luxury feel in a sense, but still affordable, where you have like granite countertops, wood cabinets, nice finishes at the end of the day, but also a good sturdy product, block homes, impact windows, so if you look at a lot of the different other builders that do affordable housing, you can see where they cut corners on some of the projects, and then the homeowner, and over time, they pay for it because stuff breaks down, it doesn't hold up as great, and then they start having issues. So it kind of may taint a lot of people wanting to have home ownership because they start having problems in the issues about being a homeowner, So we kind of just been going through and kind of perfecting our craft for us, what we can give and what we can't give, but also still have a decent margin profitability-wise. It's not a lot, but it's still enough to keep us going into doing, as well as like I grew up, my mom was on Section 8 when I was growing up, so it's kind of almost a full circle type thing that I'm kind of in this position to give back and do these types of things for people that's trying to help with them. So we've been dealing with a lot in Manatee County and Sarasota with the SHIP program, as well as here, just trying to help get people like with the down payment or closing costs in the properties that we sell. So my main company is Bernard's Investment Group, where we go out and we secure like spec land, and then Homes by Bernard is the builder. So we kind of work tandem together to kind of help people what they can and cannot afford,
That's great.
Yeah. So I'm really looking forward to doing these two projects that we have coming up with you guys on the for these projects, to really give them a good product and kind of really see how we can kind of fit everything in to make it affordable for them, whichever way direction. I know you still was trying to figure out what direction you guys want to go about.
Yeah, we'll talk
Doing it. Yeah, doing it. Yeah. Any questions?
Excited.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Very excited. If you have any issues with permitting, let us know.
Okay.
We have a city commission liaison that can help us out.
Yes,
I have
ma'am.
a question. The one you did at 2703 29th Street,
Yes, ma'am.
where is that?
So if you traveling, so if you go down, take MLK, going east,
North.
going east on MLK to 301,
Uh-huh.
make a left on 301, and then you'll make a right on 29th Street.
So that's not that, because I live on that street.
The dead end street.
It's the dead, it's
Yes,
the
ma'am.
end of the road.
Yes, ma'am. Yep.
Probably the house that's in the county.
No, it's a city. It was a city.
The beginning of the street is in the city, but there are two houses at the end that are
On
in
the county, right? Yeah. I think it was a lot in the very end house. I think it actually is in the county. Yep. But that house right there was in the city.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
Thank you.
You have any art preferences?
All right. I go with whatever John say. Whatever John say, I go with that. If he can.
Oh, you're in trouble.
Yeah. You looking at something else?
Oh, I just saw,
I
yeah,
know that we lost video again.
sorry.
Oh, John, yeah.
There you go.
Not big. Thank you.
All right.
Look,
Any questions?
John's muted.
John's
Oh, my
saying something.
goodness.
What are you doing?
Muted.
Open Bears. Yeah, look forward to it. I know this has been going on for a while, so
Yeah,
nice to
yeah.
finally get something there.
Right, get some stuff, some layouts done, and try to figure out, kind of solidify everything.
Yeah.
So,
All right. Thank you.
I'm good.
you.
All right,
Nice to meet
thank
you.
you guys.
We
Nice to meet you.
appreciate it. All right, nice to meet you too. All right. Public presentation.
Good luck. Thank you.
Commissioner or Valerie Bouchon.
Yes, sir.
All right, start with you. You're on the top. Oh, you want to do it? Did you know what you're doing? Maybe.
Sometimes.
Hello.
How are you?
All right, how you doing?
We're doing all right.
Good. Well, I first want to say that about for as those art pieces, I personally took them over to Amaryllis Park. They didn't, but because I felt that it was important that they have input, so I did. I went to their meeting that they presented, and I took a bunch of the flyers and took it over to Amaryllis Park. So I want to clarify that. I've already talked to Mr. Russell about two things. One is that we had a resident here that lived here, wherein his girlfriend, he's a longtime resident, and his girlfriend car got towed from over here. They came out and tried to go and get in the car, and the car was towed. There was no emergency number for the housing authority, nor was there any information about where the car had been towed. They actually had to call the police. They actually had to call the police to find out where the car was, and it cost them $320. I was told that the both of them is disabled, but the handicap thing was on the dashboard. Now that's what I was told, and they were parked over there on that side where maintenance workers park at, but it was the weekend, and so oftentimes people come and park over here and nothing's done, but it was no guard here, and that's what happened. The other one, thing I want to mention is that Elena and I, which is part of the council, we had the opportunity to come and observe the giving out of food that's distributed from the food bank, and we really surprised them because we've heard numerous of occasions how the staff take some food, store away before the residents come in. So I just decided to come and observe. Well, I came against hostility. Y'all say I'm hostile. You ought to come and try that. They didn't want me in. They cut off the lights so I couldn't see. But I stood right there to that door and watched. And everything went good, because I texted Mr. Russ and told him that in spite of them didn't want me, because I was going to sit right where you are, it wouldn't have interfered with nothing that they had going on here, okay? But however, they were very nasty, and I did let Mr. Russell know. So they had a lot of meat left over. However, I think that they should increase what they give the residents so it can all be utilized. And that's what I want to say. But I know Mr. Russell have had classes for staff to know how to do community interaction.
Today.
You had one today?
All day today at the Robert Taylor Center.
Well, they need to go back. That's all I can say. Because they were very nasty. We just came to observe, and they was mad because we were here, because we were watching. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Wirtz.
Yes, sir. I just wanted to let you know that I had another question I wanted to ask.
Sure.
About the murals. Mr. Broussard gave me some of the ones over there, and I put them in the mail room.
Oh, can you come up here?
Sorry.
She records you, so she can hear you.
As I was saying there, Mr. Zard gave me some of these, and I put them in the mailroom over there. And the tenants, like you're saying, they have a say so in this also, mainly because it's our building. Now, the ones I talked to, about 25 of them, they prefer this one, the Johnson, the one on the far right.
Okay.
They really like that one. And,
Britt Johnson.
Britt Johnson.
Oh.
Yes, that's the one. The people that I did talk to, that's the one that they really liked.
Okay.
Okay. Other question I wanted to ask you about, we have some low-income housing units over there, and quite a few places around here do. Just what are the qualifications for those low-income housing units? Is just Section 8 housing, HUD, you have to have?
What building are you?
Amaryllis Park, please.
Okay. We're not supposed to dialogue back and forth with you, but I can follow up with you and give you a detailed breakdown.
All right.
But basically, half of the units are Section 8 project-based vouchers. So you can be extremely low income or very low income and lease one of those units and pay 30% of your monthly adjusted income. The other 42 units are tax credit units, and no one in that building makes more than 60% of area median income, at least when they move in. And so the state kind of calculates how much those households can afford in rent. That gets adjusted every year minus the utility allowance. So there's basically just two types of units there, but they're all low income. They're all below 60% of area median income. But half of them are deeply subsidized.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I've got a couple people that are wondering about that, not myself, because I am low income.
Okay.
If I weren't, I wouldn't be sitting here. I'd be in Hollywood somewhere.
Right.
Right. But,
Yeah, every resident there is technically low income, so
yeah,
regardless of what unit they're in.
that's what I want to know. You say you send me an email?
Yes.
Okay. Now, don't forget about this now.
Okay, thank you.
That's the ones that the tenants I did talk to, that's the one they prefer to have.
Okay.
The one in the end. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you. Oh. Pamela Runyon?
Speaking. Yes, I just wanted to ask a question as to what are the duties of the guards out there, especially the daytime? And first, before I can preference that, why did they choose Friday and Saturday nights to not have guards? I mean, that seems all the way backwards. If you were going to ask anybody in the world, they say, when do you have guards? Oh, Friday and Saturday night. And we don't have one. But anyways, there are times when I've asked the daytime. Mark's pretty good, the nighttime one. But I mean, are they supposed to go around and check things? And the daytime girl, she's not even there half the time. But I was just wondering if they have a certain job that they do that we can ask them, like close the back doors if they're open, you know, and stuff like the other guards used to do. They used to take a tour of the whole building, make sure all the doors were closed and such like that before they leave. And that's not really happening anymore. And my other question, I just have one. Do you have any plan as to when we might start? First off, why is my income different than the income in the front? I mean, like if I wanted to move from my building, which is the annex, over to this building, why is that a problem?
I'll have to look into it.
Because I was told this.
I don't know what your income is, so but
It's low.
It shouldn't be. Are you talking about this building that we're in
Correct.
here versus that building?
Correct, the annex. I was told that they couldn't do it because there was a different money system. And I'm like, that never was like that before. Anyways, and I would also like to find out when we can sign up for a house at the new place. And if you could make that clear to everybody, that'd be nice. Okay, thanks.
Be at least 2 years.
Huh?
It'll be at least 2 years.
Yeah, that's what I thought. That's how things roll around.
All right. Thank you. Marion Dean. Okay.
I just want to say, I'm reading that HUD now wants us to get rid of our emotional support animals, and they have to be super qualified to be in, and that would be a very bad thing to get rid of emotional support animals for the elderly and people that are ill, and we need our animals. So do y'all have any plans? Because it's really making me mad.
So I just read, Paul, did you hear that? I know, what's her name? Lisa with HDLI.
Yeah.
Paul, can you hear me?
I can. I think that's correct, Lisa.
Walker?
Yes.
Lisa Walker. Correct.
Yeah. I read an email from her. She's with the Housing Development Law Institute, which a lot of housing authority lawyers are members of it and stuff, and she's run it for years. Rick Gilmore has been heavily involved in the group. I did read an email that she put out that was she extensively researched, but it was referencing, don't quote me on this because I don't think I may not have these facts right, but it was something about like a an opinion letter that maybe the HUD not attorney general, but a general counsel of HUD, like wrote an opinion basically saying, you know, for HUD housing, we're going to eliminate, you know, protections for support animals, not service animals, but for support animals. And so I do not believe HUD has issued any rules or notices or anything like that. And so her advice to housing authorities was, don't do anything with regard to service animals. Don't start limiting them. Don't curtail it.
Service animals or other animals?
Either. And she drew like legal connections back to 504 and other much broader statutes. So I think there is, you know, it's obviously stirred up a lot of debate on it, but nothing legal has come down from HUD on this. So I would just say right now it's status quo. So I mean,
I have in order to get one, you have to have something from your doctor saying that you need it.
No, I understand. But anyway, that's all I know right now. So.
Okay, thanks.
All right. Resolutions accepted by consent.
So moved.
That's all the speaker.
That's it.
Motion from
I have a motion.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right. Old business. Development updates.
I guess I don't have anything. I thought they were going to be on.
All right.
Did you talk about the funding changes, county?
Yeah, so I can give a little bit of an update.
Oh, hold on. I know,
To share the good news.
Jennifer, we probably will ask you for some help, and it's still one of the most insane things where they made us put the gate code. in some
Oh,
of
I
the
already
people-
shared that with her.
Okay. So it was one of those, it's like the whole time on my mind, I'm like, you can't leave without me.
Yes, I do
I
have to
did
go. I've
clarify-
got another event, but gate code, is that it? That's the only thing?
It's on my mind where it's like, you know, person has to get
And
up.
I did
That's
clarify
crazy.
with Joe
Yeah.
Chambers.
No.
Because Joe and a guy who used to be with Hoyt went round and around and around with the city on it. And they were like, no, it cannot be on the left. It has to be on. It's like,
Why? What was the reason?
I'll try to find out more granular details on it. I'll see if I can find some emails that came from the city about it.
They
But
probably have a car from
they
England.
went
completely
round
insane.
and around and around with it. So
It's completely insane, so. Do you want to send me some backup materials
Yeah.
that I can look
Yeah,
at,
I
and then
will.
I can ask to look into it?
yeah, I will.
Do you have like a bunch of English people in the permitting department?
No,
All right,
it's pretty
sorry.
crazy. I'm sorry, I have to go to.
No, I wanted to get that off. It was like,
Thank you.
It's been on my mind.
Bye. Sorry.
No, thank you for your time.
Okay, so development update. I walked Cypress Square 2 Tuesday morning. It's really coming along. It's looking good. On building 2, which is so is everybody oh gosh. There are 3 buildings, right, at Cypress Square.
Yep.
There's one that's like along Gregg, and then there's 2 on the southern end of the property. Well, the middle building, which is building 2, is going to be finished first. And I went in, the Gyp Creek has been poured. All the inspections have been done by the city. So the drywall is up and taped and all that stuff. So those are looking good. that first building is targeted to be turned over to management like mid-July. And then the other building that is right along Gregg there, that would be the next building that'll be ready. That they're thinking that might be ready by the end of July. And then the other building that's on the south end, that's closer to the Boys and Girls Club to the east, that they're thinking maybe mid-August will be ready for lease up. So that's going well. Lost on Lemon 2 continues to go well. I noticed they were taking down scaffolding on the southern end of the building along Lemon, and there's actually paint up now on some of it, so that's kind of exciting. And then we're waiting on environmentals to clear for Cypress Square 3/Central Gardens. That's been in the works for a while. The state had to do one and the county had to do one. So, because it's two different funding sources, and neither one, like the state wasn't willing to vouch on the environmental for the county's money and vice versa. And then we submitted a subsidy layering review for the 30 project-based vouchers for that development, and they're backed up at HUD. Like a lot of things are after a lot of the people left the building. So those are kind of the two critical paths right now holding up closing, but we're still hoping to possibly close in June for that development. And then McCown Tower, the county commission did award us $3 million for that, and we've pledged to. I pledged to the commission that we would fill the gap. So that's going to go forward. You heard me talk to the commissioner about trying to get our meetings going with city staff to finalize the details. I know on the design plans, some of the feedback we got from our residents was that, as they leave this building, they didn't want to have to walk through the entire building to get to the elevators. So now the design plans do show an elevator on the southern end of the building as well. Anyway, we're hoping to close on that. We're targeting first quarter of 27 to close on the McCown deal. So lots of things moving on that, but I just want to make sure that the city public parking bond issuance doesn't hold up our closing timeline. So be juggling that.
All right. Thank you.
Yep.
All right. New business. HUD loan for annex and Janie's 1 and 2.
Actually, this is a one that Dave, that you kind of wanted to talk about.
Oh yeah.
But so Bertha Mitchell. So this week we're going to get from HUD the release of the Declaration of Trust. I got emails yesterday about the tenant protection vouchers that all the current residents at Bertha Mitchell are going to be issued. So that'll be 100. So we're going to continue to have a number of resident briefings on it. We've already had some with them. We're going to have more coming up over the next week. And we're going to be asking them to kind of make a choice about what they want to do with their voucher. Are they interested in moving out? So one thing to clarify, if they say, yes, I want to take my voucher and move out, I've already told them that, the market has softened, so they're not going to have as much trouble as they did during one of our conversions, like in the courts. But even if they say I want to move out, and then let's say they look and they just can't find any place that they like, and they decide, you know what, I really don't want to move out, we've told them that's perfectly fine. So it's not, if they make that decision, it's not like we're going to hold them to moving out. We'd rather them not move out, actually. So they can move with their voucher, they can stay with their voucher, or they could give us consent to project-base their voucher. If they know they're going to stay, let's say for a year or two, it'd be nice if they would consent to let us project-base their voucher. And I told them even if they want to move out, let's say in 2 years or 3 years, they would be eligible to, at that point, get their own voucher. And then because there's a project-based voucher on that unit, it enables an unassisted family to move into that unit and be assisted. So that's a positive thing as well. Anyway, all that to say, the conversion is going to happen probably in about a month's time. We can't convert until we spend down the remaining public housing funds. So Ducon's wrapping up the rehab work, and then we're going to have the playground at Bertha Mitchell resurfaced, and a number of the components of the playground are going to get replaced as well. But anyway, once the money gets spent down and I have the declaration, the release of the declaration on a trust in hand, that's when we can convert. I can file it with the court, the clerk of the court, and then we convert. And we'll have the vouchers as well. So Commissioner Morgan brought up, the topic of, well, what will the 100 units be? Is it going to be, all Section 8, or will some be unassisted but affordable? One thing I would add is that even though HUD is releasing the declaration of trust on the public housing property, we have to also file HUD is going to require us to put in place a use restriction on it. And it limits it to low-income households, right? And so we've technically asked them to grandfather in. We have one or two, I say one or two because one of them is over income because of a lot of the overtime they've been working. But we have 2 families who are over income, which is allowed to happen in public housing for a period of time. But once we convert to Section 8, they wouldn't be eligible for Section 8, right? Their incomes are too high. So then what do? So we're asking HUD to at least allow us to grandfather them in and not, enable them to live there. And then once they move out, we have to replace those households with low income qualified residents. So
I have a question. You mentioned the playground at Bertha Mitchell. Is there any plan to shade any portion of that?
So I haven't read through it yet, but yes, there have been discussions about that. I think 4-H, in fact, they may want to present it to the board, but I think they have some funding that they want to invest in the playground in terms of plant material, and I can't speak to it in any detail, but they definitely want to install some plant materials around the playground. So I'll definitely bring that to the board.
Were you thinking more permanent shade structure and immediate impact?
That.
Like the awning
No,
type
so it was
shades
some-
on the playgrounds.
Right. Or more
I
mature.
feel like we did have a few there that have, I think, gone away. So yeah, we can look at replacing a couple of those as well. I know we had a few, like on top of the play set and stuff. Yeah,
Definitely.
yeah, we can do that.
Okay, thanks.
Although you're talking about like shade trees and stuff.
No.
All right. Thank you, Blaine. All right, new business. HUD loan for Annex and Janie's 1 and 2 rehab.
All right, so let me find this. I put together a sheet to help us with this discussion. It's this one. It kind of looks like this.
Good.
We can talk to it. Okay, so right now the scope of work for the annex building is going to include both stairwells being completely rebuilt. Actually, we have to build new stairwell structures. So we're not going into the existing stairwells. City won't let us. We have to build 2 entirely new stairwell structures. Once those get built, the existing ones are going to be turned into bigger areas of refuge. So in case there is a fire and people need to get out and the fire department has to come up and get people in wheelchairs and stuff, there's going to be a much bigger area of people for people to be waiting to be carried down if they can't get down themselves. Interior hallways, that's just something I'm personally excited about, will be resurfaced and painted to cover up the current center block walls in all the hallways, and we will remove the existing handrails, which date back to like 1978, I think. We're going to renovate the lobby as you come in. We're going to do new corridor lighting on all floors. We're going to do some residential unit rehabs. So we did this on one unit, but we removed the kitchen wall, okay, which divides the kitchen from the living room. We totally opened up that wall, and it had a really nice effect on the unit. So we want to do that. We're going to put in new kitchen cabinets and appliances. I know we were going to do ADA bathroom renovations on all of the first floor units, where not step-in showers, but roll-in showers that are truly ADA. First floor is the only floor we can do that on because of the structure of the building. I'm hoping to add bathroom renovations in for the other 4 floors, though. That wasn't in the initial scope. This is a big one. We had to do this on this building too, but they basically said that the electrical system is, like it's not obsolete. It's working fine, but it's basically at the it's towards the end of its like useful life. Yeah. So it is expensive to do that, but especially because we're considering, financing the rehab, everybody agrees we need to get that done. So that'll be an entire replacement. Put in a new emergency call system. Put in a new emergency generator, which is located in the back of the building. We want to put in a new trash compactor and bulk trash area. Improved landscaping and exterior lighting. New interior doors. We recently replaced the West Corridor HVAC system, which was a significant investment. And so we want to then replace the East Corridor HVAC system. And what I learned about this was obviously the units have the PTEC units, right, that air condition the unit. But because some residents like it warmer, some like it colder, some maybe crack a window open, unless the center hallway is pressurized and air conditioned, you can start to have mold start occurring.
Correct.
They basically said we had to have really good AC systems on the east and west to pressurize the hallways to mitigate that. So that's why we're going to replace the East Corridor one. Any units that still have carpet, so we've been reflooring units as we've gone along, but any that still have carpet are going to get new flooring, LVT. So one of the HUD insured loan program that we've talked to the lender about that they thought would be the best is the 223F program. And we're just waiting to see if that program has any other specific rehab standards that they might insist on. And we're also, I signed off on it, but we're hiring a building envelope consultant to test the roof and the windows of the building to see if those are up to par or if some of those need to be replaced as well. So I was a little surprised about this, but and we're working with JLL on this, but they looked at all the financials and our contract rents and everything, and they said that we would qualify, like HUD would approve us borrowing $16 million, which I do not want to do. So, but that is like that's the maximum that we could get approved for. So the thought was we would apply for that and then back it up as we get the scope finalized and we get better cost estimates in. But what we can't do is say, well, we only want to borrow 8. Once we apply for 8, they won't let us go up to 9 or to 10. So we might as well apply for the max and then bring it down to whatever we need to make the project financially feasible. We are estimating it will probably be somewhere between 5 to 10. I mean, the electrical system alone is going to be about, for this building, it was like $2 million. So it's an expensive thing. Our current reserves are $3.75 million. Wanted to share that with the board. So until we do the formal application, the interest rate's not locked in, but JLL informed us, if we were to have applied a couple of weeks ago, we could have gotten a 5.3 interest rate, which is pretty good. The loan term is 35 years, which is also awesome. And the debt service factor is 6.54. So I do think that I think given the scope of work that we need to do on the building, we have great contract rents now from HUD, and I think we do need to do a significant investment in the property, modernize it, upgrade it. So I think we're not going to get there just with the cash we have on hand, nor do I want to deplete all the cash we have on hand. And we can afford to service debt on the building. So that's my recommendation for the board.
Do our rent rolls support the loan?
Yes. So JLL said that HUD would approve us for $16 million based on our contract rents and our financials. But we certainly don't want to borrow $16 million. That's what we would, they would approve that, but we don't want to
Are you looking?
be indebted to that amount.
Are you looking for like a vote to move forward, or is this more informational?
Yeah, I think the sooner we get this started, because it's going to take a number of months for HUD to approve it. So I think the earlier I get the green light to submit an application, and we're pretty much ready to go. But the sooner we get started, the faster we can get going on it.
What is this driven primarily by the architect, by contractor, by, I guess, who's driving the scope of work? Based on a needs assessment?
We did have a needs assessment done, and we've had our architect reviewing that as well. Certainly the stairwells, that's something we've been wrestling with for a number of years now to figure out how we're going to do this. Do we buy a temporary staircase, which was a fortune and wouldn't get anything out of it? So yeah, it's kind of a combination of things.
And then contractor-wise?
I mean, like opening up the kitchen wall, that was just something we came up with internally. And we tried, and we had a contractor do it on a unit, and it works great.
You're intending to bid this as one big package? How
Yes.
are you planning to do that? Okay.
Yeah. So Lance wanted to break out the east stairwell and get that bid out right away and not have it wait on this. There's a chance that HUD could still agree to include that in the financing, but he's so concerned about the condition of the stairwell for safety purposes that he wanted to break that out and bid it out. But the rest of it, basically be GC's bidding on the whole project. So
Very good.
Anybody want to make a motion now?
Wouldn't it be cheap?
Go ahead, John.
Wouldn't it be cheaper to get it done all at once and put it all together?
it would, but I mean, we still could, but Lance is he's worried that the condition that the stairwell's in now, that if we wait, 6-8 months more, that it could be an issue for us.
Fire hazard, okay. All right. Also, the generator that you're putting in, is that sufficient to run all the emergency lighting in the elevators?
Yes.
Go back out?
Yes.
It won't run all the residence units, though?
I don't believe so. Well, our current one only does elevator and emergency lighting. I don't know. I mean, maybe we'll look into the technology and the power of some of the newer ones. I mean, if we could get one that powers the whole building, that'd be awesome, but I don't know how feasible that is. Probably be as big as the building, but.
Yeah.
But yeah, for sure it would power the elevators and the emergency lighting.
Okay, that's all I want to make sure of.
Very good.
Just bearing in mind that some of our residents are disabled and need the elevators to get down in case of an emergency.
So I think William's looking for giving them the green light.
And at a later day, I'm going to bring you a proposal to apply for this same HUD 223F to rehab Janie's phase 1 and 2, but I'm not ready with that yet.
Okay.
I'll make the motion.
So moved.
I have a motion and a second. Call the question. All those in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous.
Aye.
That was to submit the loan application.
Yeah. All right, creation of development director, a fundraising position.
Yeah, so I wanted to just talk to the board about this, but Youth Thrive has always been, a passion of mine, and we've been doing youth programming since 2013, I think we first started. But the program has never really been on very sound financial footing. It's a loss leader in the sense that we have expenses to operate it, but we don't charge any fees for our families. That's very intentional. Because if you think about it, and we talk about this in our grant applications, but our parents have two barriers to getting like after school programming or summer camp programming for our youth. One is transportation, reliable transportation, and two is money. So we eliminate both of those barriers. And so, we've been kind of limping along. We've been getting county HSAC grants. We've gotten funding from the Community Foundation every year since John Annis was there, it's been a while. We've gotten, as of late, maybe for the last 2 years, we've gotten some grants from the Newtown CRA Advisory Board. And we've gotten some other grants here and there. Certainly we've gotten funding assistance to do our Shop with the Cop every year. So anyway, and and Michelle finds, various, like we got a United Way grant recently. She finds some corporate grants here and there to apply for, but it's really taking up, some of her bandwidth, not just to apply for grants, but to then do all the grant reporting that comes along with that. And so, I don't know, I also just feel like, and this is unusual, for a housing authority, but in fact, we're prohibited from using federal funds to pay for a fundraiser. What was I going to say? We have tremendous wealth in this community, right? Individual donors, as well as very large philanthropic foundations in our community. And so, as I've become more and more aware of other nonprofits who have, development professionals, and in this case, 99% of the time when I say development, I mean real estate development. In this case, I'm talking about fundraising development. And it's something I've been kicking around. We really need to hire someone, and I go out and I talk to people. Well, would it be a grant writer? Would it be someone to cultivate, donor relationships and bring them in on tours? And we did try hiring a couple of times, like external grant writers, but that creates a lot of work internally for Michelle and her staff because the external grant writer doesn't know our programs. Right. So that's like by the time we get them up to speed on what we're doing, it's very inefficient, and they're not dedicated to raising money for us. So anyway, I've kind of come to the conclusion that it would be best for Youth Thrive, and I'll explain this too, but strategically, the Housing Authority and our 501c3 to have a development director who can write grants, who can cultivate relationships, like mid-level relationships at the foundations. Because remember, the foundations are made up of donors, right? They all have funds and stuff at each of the foundations and stuff. And to also cultivate relations with wealthy donors in the community, bring them in for tours. So anyway, I've been talking to people about it. I talked to another housing nonprofit who has a lot of background in fundraising, so I'm going to meet with her about it. So I've been showing them the job description of it and stuff. And the other thing is to kind of raise awareness in the community about what we're doing. I mean, this is partly a frustration, but we provide very significant financial support to people like the Boys and Girls Club. And I'll tell you an interesting AI story about that. But also like Star Lab, the private school that I think very highly of, that's operating out of Janie's Gardens. Children First. We're letting them operate on our property for free. And so the other day, Michelle was writing a grant. She's like, how much, like if we had to quantify the value of our financial support for the Boys and Girls Club, what would it be? So the power of AI, in about 10 minutes, I got a really well-written, and it walked me through all the assumptions, and yes, conservative property value assumptions, and they're like, okay, well, a ground lease is typically 6 to 8% of the property value per year. So anyway, it basically spit out a value of like 80 to 100 grand a year. That if we were to charge the Boys and Girls Club a very conservative market value as a ground lease, that's what it's worth. And no one knows that.
Yeah.
I mean, we didn't know that. No one knows that. The public doesn't even know that. And so it's like we need to raise more awareness, because the Boys and Girls Club is going to Newtown CRA and the county and getting tons of grants, but no one knows that, they're servicing our kids on our land, and we're providing a tremendous financial benefit to them. So, yes.
Am I understanding that you're looking to get this development person from within your staff?
No.
And not, okay,
No.
that would be scary
No.
for me.
No.
Because I took a stab at development. It ain't easy.
No, it's not.
It requires a professional.
Yes.
But they have to be invested in the organization.
I agree.
Or you don't.
I agree.
Don't hire them.
And I've had seasoned people tell me in the first 2 or 3 years, you'll probably go through 2 or 3 people. So you find.
No, I think it's
The one that right.
But once you find the right one, they said by the end of year 2, they'll be bringing in
okay for themselves.
well more money than they're being paid. And if they're not, you have a problem.
Yeah.
So.
No, I think it's
That's a
great.
good idea. But the development person would work on behalf of the entire organization, not just
True.
pieces of
Yeah.
it.
What I was going to say is because we're not, bringing in enough grant income, let's say, to cover all of our expenses for Youth Thrive, that's going to be the immediate priority. And plus, if I had to raise money for something in this community, and it was, can you help support our youth programming for kids living and growing up in public housing? I think I could raise money for that.
I agree, but I wouldn't limit it.
No, I'm not.
to that.
So, and so initially I thought about, well, they could report to Michelle, but then strategically I realized after a couple of years, once they get You Thrive fully funded and stabilized, they could do a capital campaign to raise money to build these 2 houses, for example, and on and on and on. And it could be a much more strategic fundraising.
No, I mean, I know
effort.
housing authorities, and they'll do like a golf tournament, right? And then they invite people that have been working on all their construction projects, and the county commissioners show up, and all those kind of who's who, and the next thing you know, they're all giving back all the programs. So
But you'll bring that proposal to us, because that, to me, and in my experience, that person should be accountable to you.
Yeah. Well, it's not, I mean, I have a job description, but I mean, it's something I want to do. I just wanted to make sure the board
I think it's a great idea.
was supportive of it strategically. So.
we need better and more PR.
Yeah, I'd say, where's our greatest need? Is it in fundraising? Is it in government affairs? That would be my question, right? If we're talking about bringing on a new position that reports to you, not necessarily an executive per se, but
yeah. I mean, maybe both, but we certainly need the fundraising.
Right.
Because I think that would speak volumes to potential donors.
Yeah. And we are, right now it's looking like we may be losing our HSAC funding, which is about $75,000 a year. So by the time they got down to where our application was on the list, they had already run out of money. And we're applying for 75, and some of the bigger nonprofits are applying for $350,000.
Right.
So anyway, we'll see. But I'm told the foundations are pretty sympathetic to
it sounds like
people losing HSAC money also. So we might be able to appeal to some of them.
It seems like everybody's. I don't hear everybody in opposition.
No, what about the people on?
Okay, great. Thank you.
It's the new one.
Now it gets on.
Yeah. All right, program updates accepted by consent. Can I have a motion, or anybody want to pull anything?
I'll make a motion to approve or
Motion.
accept.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Call the question. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Ernestine? Aye. All right. Commissioner announcements, comments. Let's start with Ernestine. Let's start with the Zoom.
No, it's not.
Commissioner Cologne?
What was the question?
Do you have any announcements or comments?
That's what I thought. No, not at this time.
Commissioner Mason?
No.
Commissioner Reba?
None at this time.
Commissioner Maria?
No, sir. Thank you.
So I just want to talk about the art. I have nothing. All right. Sorry that one went long. All right.
What's that mean?